Hey everybody, this is Keough, back after my last meet, which was this past Saturday. I hit my goals, which was to do 1355 total at 148 pounds. I wanted to squat 500 at this meet. I ended up doing that. I hit a 501 squat. I wanted to bench close to 300 at this meet. My target goal was 298, and I did that. I hit a 298 bench press, and that was my first double body weight paused bench press in competition, so I was really happy about that. And I wanted to deadlift, if possible, 573, and I ended up playing it really conservative. With my second attempt, I took a hard second attempt, but one that I knew I could hit. So I hit that second attempt in order to break 1350 for a total. That was my big goal for the meet, was to break 1350, and I finished with 1355 at 148 pounds. But I took 573 for my third attempt, and ended up being just a little bit too gassed, a little bit too fatigued at the end of the day. I had gone through a heavy squat series, working up to 501, and the 501 itself wasn't terribly difficult, but it's uncharted territory for me. And I think after those squats plus two relatively heavy pulls, I opened heavier than usual. I opened at 535, and it just so happened that I went 6 for 6 on my first two lifts, and really only needed my opener at that point to beat the 1328 I did from last meet. So I just was a little bit gassed out, I think, at the end of that day, and I couldn't quite lock it out. But I know I'm strong enough, certainly, to pull around 570 right now. I feel like that's about where my limit is. So 573, I know under different conditions I'd have a better chance at getting it. So I was really happy with the 1355. This is the second meet in a row that I've gone 8 for 9, and I'm really thrilled about that. In April, I had done 1267, and I had really a poor showing, so for me to go from 1267 to 1355 in a span of, I don't know, 7 months or so is an achievement for me, and I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about my progress. I feel good about my training. I've changed some things in my training, and at this point I'm really training every lift as if it were an individual lift, and treating it like an individual lift. So I'm not using any sort of blanket linear periodization model, treating all my lifts the same. My deadlift training is very different from my squat training, and it's very different from my bench training. And I think I've figured things out for all three lifts that are going to allow me to continue to make progress. I am going to take some time off now, not from training, but from competing, and I'm going to spend the next 6 months or so just training without any interruptions. That was my plan from the beginning, and I really feel I need that uninterrupted training time to get a lot stronger. So I plan on coming back at the earliest around April, very likely around April. If not, I'll come back a little later, around June, and I'll be competing again at 148 at that time. The next number for me, because I broke 1300, I broke 1350, is going to be 1400. And over these next 6 months, I want to put together the numbers that will give me 1400 in a meet at 148 pounds. And I think in order to do that, I'm going to need to be able to squat at least 520, which I have confidence in being able to do. At the beginning of this year, my squat was 430, and now it's 501. So in around 8 full months' time, I've put 71 pounds on it. So I think in 6 months' time, I can do another 20 or another 19. But I need to squat 520. I need to be able to pull around 570, which I think I can do right now. And I need to be able to bench around 310. The 310 bench is the big question mark, because I've never been above 300. But I think I have a new program in place, a new approach to bench pressing using exclusively paused work that is really going to help me push my bench above that 300 mark. 298 at the meet felt really good. I was really thrilled with how 298 felt. 300 felt awful in training, but I managed to get it, and 298 really came up very quickly. And I feel very encouraged that if I keep the programming that I used for the last 6 to 8 weeks, the last 7 weeks leading up to this meet, and I just follow the same principles that I've been following. I'll be able to add another 10 pounds on my bench press between now and that next meet. So that's the goal. 1400 is the goal. I don't really care how I get there, just as long as I get there. And for me, 1400 would be, again, another milestone total. It would help me move further up the rankings among 148-pound lifters, and for me, it's a total that not too many 148s have done, at least in my mind. I can't think of too many that have done it, and I would like to, I guess, join those ranks, and I think I can do it by April. If not, I'll have the following year to just continue to pursue it and get there, and but I think April is going to be the date. I think I'm able to do that. My goals for next year, number one, break 1400. I don't care if it's April, July, or October, or any time in between, but I want to break 1400 in a meet, and I hopefully will do that sooner rather than later. Break 1400, number one. Number two, I'm still going to try to move up the rankings, so that's what I'm looking to do. I'd like a number one ranking, and we'll see how that plays out, but I'm going to try to find myself in a number one spot, because that has been a goal of mine for the last 2 years, and I've slowly been moving up, but I don't have too much further to go, thankfully. And in addition to that, over the past year or so, I've really started training my squat, I think, a lot harder than I have in the past. I realize now that my squat responds to volume, and I've been able to improve a lot on my squat just by doing a second session each week and by doing more total volume. And my progress on my squat this year has been unexpected, and for me it's been pretty remarkable. I've gone up 70 pounds over the course of the year, and now that I'm over 500, I'm starting to give the world record at my weight class a serious look. The world record is held by Ricky Dale Crane. It's 564 pounds. That's a raw squat with knee wraps, and I'm 63 pounds away. So I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know how much longer I can keep up my progress, but 2013, I want to close the gap on that world record squat. I don't have an end goal in mind from 14 months from now, but I definitely like to close the gap, whatever that means. It could be 520, it could be 530, it could be 540, it could be more than that. I'm going to get whatever progress I can get over the next 14 months, and I will close the gap on that squat. And I want to put myself in a position now to challenge that record, because that is the world record that I feel like I have a chance at one day taking. I'm only 26 years old. I plan on being a 148-pounder for a long time. I plan on being in the sport for a long time, so I've got plenty of time to improve, and I'm not going to go do anything else in life. This is what I'm doing. So I will be coming for that record, and as long as I stay healthy, and as long as I continue to train hard, which I know I will do, I think someday I'll have a chance at breaking it. So that's the plan. Again, 2013 will be exactly like 2012 from my end. The effort will be the same. Everything in my life, I think at this point, is focused towards powerlifting and towards attaining my goals, and that won't change. I came in very well prepared to all three of my meets. My weight was in great shape. My diet was fantastic. I got enough rest. I trained to the very best of my ability, and I got smarter, and I started training more intelligently as the year went on. And I'm just going to continue to do that, because that's the formula that has worked for me, and that's the formula that I'm going to continue to employ. So keep watching my videos. I'm going to have more training starting today, because I'm just going to start my bench training today. I feel pretty good. I'm not going to take a rest week. I'm going to start immediately. So I'll have footage from my bench training today. Watch my progress over the next 6 months. And I guess this begins the road to 1400. I hope you continue watching, and I'll have some videos for you soon.